Hi, Ryan here. This is a solo tutorial of a really neat little solo in a song by Jonas Krag Viken. The song is called "This Moment." This solo happens at around the 2 minute 36-second mark, roughly. So I thought I'd do a quick tutorial of this because it's very cool, and I had a lot of fun learning it. So I guess I'll play it real fast and just to see what it's gonna sound like. So here we go. So, a little messy, but you get the idea. So, just so that you can play that better than I did, we're going to go over some of the parts, piece by piece. So, first thing to note is that I'm in the neck pickup, because at least the way that my guitar sounds, it sounded way better played in the neck pickup than it did in the bridge or any other selection. The solo has a very rounded, like heavy mid feel to it. So for that reason, I chose neck pickup. It could be different on your guitar, but at least for the way it sounded on mine, that was appropriate. You get this very round, like wholesome note sound instead of like a crunchy, like a very treble heavy thing in the neck. So, or on the bridge. So I chose the this guy, the neck pickup. Second thing, this is a very, what I like to call a messy solo. And that's not meant to be insulting or rude. It's a very good solo. And the person is clearly a good guitar player. But when I say messy, I mean like sloppy, messy. I mean that the style of the person playing it is very sort of shifty and like loose in the left hand. So you get a lot of like slidey notes and unintentional notes, slide outs, slide ins, different stuff like that. And it's just a stylistic thing. It doesn't mean that they're not a good guitar player. It just means that the style of the person playing it is very loose, very kind of laid back, and just free form. So you're gonna get a lot of weird slidey things, a lot of weird dead notes or unintentional notes. Now, in terms of the tablature that I have written for it, I've written it so that the notes that are very clear and distinct and make sense in a musical way and in like a context way, those are the notes that I put in. So if there's unintentional slidey things or like small little blips here and there, I didn't worry too much about them because it's hard to tab out someone's style, right? It's easy to tab out notes. It's very difficult to tab out the style in which they're playing it, so I kind of left that alone. You'll see what I mean when I get, for example, when we get to this lick, it's like just like a very slippery lick, so it's hard to tell what's going on, which notes are intentional, what was the goal in writing that. So we'll try to tackle it as best we can, but just something to think about, and I'll touch on that a little more later. So first things first, the first note. This is being played on the G fret of the G fret. Oh my god, the G string, 15th fret. Now, a lot of times when we're tapping these out, it's easy to get mixed up with the location because you can clearly play this note at 3 different, right, like a bunch of different spots on the guitar. So it's always hard to say why are they playing it here and not there. And how do you know that? So here's why I chose this spot here on the G string, because the shape that is going to come after this is a very arpeggiated shape. It would be much more difficult for the player to do like something like sounds fine, but it seems a little more demanding of a guitar player to have to do more movements than they need to. And this is a very friendly, not a lot of movement required, easy shape to play in. So I chose here. Also, the string thickness can tell you a lot about the tone of the note. So for example, this note, and let's say now, same note, and it might not sound like there's a huge difference there, but I've been doing this for a while, so I can tell a lot of the times what string a note is being played on, just because of the thickness of the string will actually give the note a different tonality. So here, this is a very good, solid note. Like, way easier for me to tell that it was played here than, say, here. Just too thin, right? Too thin sounding. So just a subtle difference. That's a little like look into the way that I do things. But I'm fairly certain that that's what's going on. So we're going to start on the 15th fret. And I'm going to play this little this chord here, which is 15 on the G, 15 on the B. And then a little slide out. So we have 1, 2, and then we're going to come back up to 15 on the G, 15 on the B, 13 on the E string, and then immediately hit this 15 on the high E and bend immediately, a full step. So you have, and you're bending from here to here. And then release the bend and go back to the 13th. So you have this. The little vibrato on the 13th. Now, if you listen to the song, this bend, the intentional note to bend to is one full step. So that would be the 15th to the 17th on the high E. That's the intention of the bend, right? To get a full step. Now, if you listen, it's a really aggressive bend. Like there's clearly, you know, he hit the 17th note, but he kind of went over a little. So you get this like a 1.5 type feel. Again, stylistic stuff. I don't think he meant to go one full step plus an eighth more, you know? So a little, just an aggressive bend. So that's what's going on. You have 15, 15, 13. That's the first section. So just to recap. So then we'll move on to the second section. And that is, we have this, which is 13 on the high E, 13 on the B. Little bit of a bar, but not really. They kind of run together, but not, you wouldn't hold them. So you're going, I'm using my index finger to bar them. And then I'm immediately coming to the 17th fret on the B string and doing like a mini slide, 17, 18, 17, in like a triplet feel. Like that, so we have that. And then we come to this interesting little slippery section, which involves 17, 15, and 13 of the B string. So follow along with the tabs for that one. We have 17, 15, 13 twice. And then 15, 17, 15, 13. And then 15, 13. And then move to the G string, 15. Same note that we started on. So you have. Now, another small subtlety here, one that I always pay attention to, is picking the right hand, because when we think solo, we think left hand, but really the right hand has a lot to do with what's going on. So as far as tonality is concerned, the pick strokes are happening on both of the 17th frets there. Pick, pick, the rest are pull-offs, right? So pick, pull off, pick, pull off, pull off. And then we have pick again, which is pick, hammer, pull off, and then pick, pull off, pick. So you have pick, 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 pick. So not super important, right? You can get away with playing this riff all pick or all pull-offs. At that point, it's personal preference. You can play it however you want. To my ear, the picked notes are happening as I mentioned them. That's just something that I picked up on. So your choice to include that or not. So let's go over the whole thing so far. We have remember the slide out. Little slide out again. So then we're back to this whole 15th fret on the G string. And this is also, when you hear this chord, this triad, which is just, I'm using my middle finger to bar the 15th fret on the G, B, and E string. This is such a like an important like blues chord. Like this has been around forever. So when you hear this, it's pretty much a dead giveaway that this is the location that's happening. And so that was another reason that I chose to start here. Because you could have played it, right? But that requires more fingers, less easy than a bar shape. So I'm sticking with this 15th fret. So we have slide out. And also it's not really a strum chord so much as it is a brush stroke. So and then we come to this cool wiggly little passage. You slide out and then you immediately got to get back into place to the 14th fret of the G and slide up to the 15th. Like that. So you have and then I'm using my index and my pinky. And preference on what fingers you want to use. I tried to use the easiest fingers in each spot. Again, might not be accurate, but just to make life easier. So I have this index finger, 14th fret on the G, slide to the 15th. Then I'm picking the 18th fret of the B, and then shifting my hand down, because I'm in this spot here. And I'm going to use my pinky to play both of these notes, because I want to do this again. And if I stayed here, I would have to do another slide. And I can tell in the recording there's not a slide happening there. So I'm going to do a shift early. So I have I'm picking both of those notes because you don't hear a distinctive slide. You just hear. So I'm picking both so it doesn't sound like I'm doing a slide. And then I'm doing more legato here. So here's what I have. 18, 17, and then I have this note, this little run. Again, pick, pick, pick. This is happening on the 17th, 15th, and 13th fret of the B. A little slide out, always. I don't know. I mean, that's just some player's style. I do it. Sometimes slide in, slide out to a certain note. So that's what we have so far. Here we go. So that's where we're at so far. Now, we come to this really slippery section that I probably spent the most time on this, and this is what I've decided on. The first thing you have is... this is pretty straightforward. 9, 10, 12 on the G. Excuse me. And this is a hammer. This is a legato passage. Pick, hammer on, hammer on. And then we're going to shift up a string to the B. I'm sorry, down a string to the B to 10, 11, 14. So you have. I'm doing pick, pick. One pick for each string. So same shape, if you had a shape of index, middle, pinky, you would just move the shape down a string and over a fret, up a fret. So you have. Now then this really strange like a weird little slidey thing happens. This is where I think that the style of the guitar player overtakes what he's playing. So to account for that, this is what I've written. And what I'm doing is, after I do these two groups of 3, I'm using my pinky finger still in the 14th, or I'm sorry, the 10, 11, 13. I'm using my pinky finger to do a double slide. So I'm doing slide to 14, slide to 15. So you get like an eerie type slide thing. So you have. But keep in mind it's not like a full run through, because you want to be able to hear both of these notes. So we have. Now I'm on the 15th fret of the B. And from here I'm doing a pattern of pinky, middle, index, 15th on the B, 13th on the B, 11 on the B. And then I move up a string to the G, and I do the same pattern, pinky, middle, index, up a string, shift down a fret, 14, 12, 10. So. And slide to the 9. So it's like it's a circle here. You have, sorry. Very legato-y, very slippery. That's what I feel like is going on here. And it happens like very awkwardly like that. Not very like, every note isn't just, it's not very cut and dry like that. Sort of, you just kind of wiggle through it. So that's what I think he's doing there. And then a little rest, and then we have this section. And here I'm using my pinky to bar this because I'm going to have to stretch to the 8th fret, and 12 to 8 is a bit of a stretch. So I'm going to start with my pinky, and I'm playing G and D of the 12th fret. So I have a little bar and a pull off to 8 of the D. And this last note is 10 on the A. So this whole section has a little bit of a triplet feel. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So I have 12, 12, pull off, 10, and then I'm back to the D string with my index finger, and I'm doing 7, 8, 10. Then up to the G, 7, 9, 10. We land on the 10s, yep. And that 10, this note here, this lands on the 1 count of the next measure. It doesn't land before it. Because if you play this through, it might sound like it's ending early, but so you kind of have to slow it down and be patient with the riff so that it ends on the 1. Alright, and then we're going to move on to the next part. This is where it gets kind of bluesy, which is cool. So we have, this is 10th fret of the G. Little slide out, 10, 10, 9. Then I'm staying here. I'm going all the way down to the low E, and I'm doing a pentatonic blues shape. This is a huge blues shape, and it's so easy for it to happen here because he's going to do this, which is all in it. It's all in the pentatonic shape. So this is where it's going on. So we're starting on the 10th fret of the low E, 10, 13, and then up to the A string, and you're doing 10, 11, 12. And then up to the D, 10, 12, and then G string, 10th fret. So. And at this point we have that's the one count again, this note, and then we have pay attention to the timing of those notes. 10, then 12 on the D, back to 10, and then 12 on the G. So, like a mini half bend. And a triplet field. That happens 4 times. So we have hammer on, 10 to 12 of the G, 10, 12, 12, and then I'm going to use this hammer on with my index and hammer on with my middle. And I'm doing that because I'm going to be bending this middle finger 12th fret G a full step and holding on to, with my ring finger here, the 13th fret of the B. Another like really rock and roll blues type thing. So you have and then this ring finger that was just holding on to the 13th fret of the B is going to do a bend on that note. Full bend. And then release it. And now I'm in this shape here, where I'm still holding my ring finger on the 13th fret, and I have my middle finger here on the 11th, and my index on the 10. So you're going to do this full bend release, and then it's a quick 1-2 on the 11-10 of the B, and then bend full on the 11th, and then release, and hammer on again to the 10. So you have and then back to this whole thing, same thing, back to the 12th fret, and you have this whole bend, hold, release. That's 12, 10, D12, G10, all in the pentatonic shape. So that's a really, pay attention to the tabs closely for that, and listen to the song. That'll be the most helpful thing. I'm probably rambling a lot and not making it very clear, but between the tabs, the song, and hopefully this, you should be able to nail that part, because it's just about listening and like getting it down, you know. So you have and now we're at the last run of the note, which is the fastest and the hardest, because it's not necessarily the hardest because of the speed. It's hardest because he's trying to pick almost every note. And, you know, legato, hammer-ons, pull-offs are very helpful for speed. You know, not picking is sounds very fast. But when you pick every note, it's difficult. So he's trying to do this ascending sequence, starting on the 14th fret of the G, going to the 13th fret of the B, and the 15th fret of the B. So this is 13 of the E, 15th of the B. So, and then 15th of the high E, 15, 13, 15 on the B, 17 on the high E, and then a half bend on the 17th high E to finish the solo. Okay, so here's what I am doing. You could, if you are very good in the right hand, you could try and pick all of these notes. Totally possible. You'll find that there's a string hop, you know, when you have to go, you have to jump, you have to go from the 14th of the G to the 13th of the high E and skip the B string. That's very hard to do at a high rate of speed because you have to jump a string. So here's the way that I picked it when I played it. I have So when I have to do a pull off, I'm doing pick, pick, pull off. And I'm actually doing the hop. I don't know why I'm doing that. It just feels easier. I don't know. That's really dumb. But I'm doing the string hop for whatever reason. So I have pick, pick, pull off, pick. And then pick, 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 pick. And then I have pick, pick, pull off, pick. And then all picks. So 2 patterns of pick, pick, pull off, pick, and then 4 picks. And then pick, pick, pull off, pick, 4 picks. So I have, well, there's 2 in the beginning. Down, up. And then I'm starting that pattern of pick, pick, pull off, pick, 4 picks. Pick, pick, pull off, pick, 4 picks. That's starting on the 15th fret of the B. So the first 2 notes before that are, so the first 2 notes, and then the pattern. A little vibrato, and then slide out. So that is the whole thing. Now, God, this is a long video. So I hope that this was helpful. If some parts are weird or you want a little more explanation for some parts, let me know in the comments or shoot me a message, and I'll be happy to help you. So I hope that this was helpful. It's really important, some final thoughts, to appreciate the stylistic tendencies of the artist and not get so hung up on passages like that, like a really weird slippery passage. Don't get so hung up on it. Try your best to get through it in a structured way, in your own style. Really you should be adding your own style to these, so to any solo that you want to cover, because that's the whole point, right? You want to play like an individual. So note for note, the tabs are very good. They are, I'm patting myself on the back here, but I think I nailed the notes part and the locations of what's going on. So I would pay attention to the notes. I've touched on some picking patterns in the video, but I can certainly go into more detail for that if you'd like. But other than that, just listen to the song, listen to the solo so that you know it. You can sing it in your head, you know it like the back of your hand, and that'll make this whole thing way easier to play it. So that's my recommendation, and good luck with it. Have fun with it, and I'd love to see a cover up. Put a cover up on YouTube. I'd love to see it. So good luck. Thanks.